it's happening in New York, New Jersey, or Long Island, hear about it with Joe Piscopo. Mornings, 6 to 10 on AM 970. The Answer.
You know, Jim Meskimen is sitting next to me, and I have immense respect for people who can do esoteric characters, create characters. That was my wheelhouse on Saturday Night Live. That's people right. Go, when you start to prepare it or write it, they go, "What are you doing?" You go, "Stay with me. It's Andy Rooney." You ever notice how annoying my voice is? And then what? Man, no one cares about Andy Rooney. I did Dan Rather. I did Ted Koppel. You go to these what you think are esoteric characters. So Jim Meskimen, I'm watching TV, and how much millions of people have seen the crossing of the Delaware,
Washington crossing the Delaware Turnpike,
and then there you are as George Washington. Now, what are you going to say?
Big man with a horn. Pull together. A little left. Easy. All right. We've all got places to go.
Washington crossing the Delaware Turnpike? Surprising. What's not surprising? How much money Sean saved by switching to Geico.
Big man with a horn.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
How does Washington sound?
I don't know. You know, I think I drew on all the TCM movies and the Louis Calhern and these kind of old-timey guys that would have been.
It was great, man.
You hear it in your head, don't you? Like when you create a character.
Yeah, you do.
You got the whole thing. You got the whole package. You know what shoes he's wearing, everything.
Tell me, you had to ad-lib that when you was big man with a horn. You had to ad-lib.
I think Big Man with a Horn I ad-libbed because that sounds like something I would.
But what made me laugh, and Jim, forgive me, we're such big fans. When you start the commercial and then it starts to rock a little bit. Easy. It's like
slow down.
Oh. And they also wanted me to be kind of perturbed quietly and suffering in silence. And,
you got to watch this commercial, and then he goes in and that I guess were those the words? That was the dialogue was.
We all got places to go. That was definitely in the script.
And they did wide shot, and they had close.
Yeah. We did,
coverage,
but not monstrous amount of coverage. But it didn't take. We were done by 2:00 in the afternoon. So
really?
it wasn't too bad.
You did that, and then just
the reverse. I mean, the Geico, they shoot all their spots for a year in about a 2-week period.
Wow.
So they just were knocking them out there.
Listen, my immense respect. That is so funny.
Thanks. I wish it was still running, but they also don't run them very long. So
they're cyclical.
That was in February, so it was like President's Day, and I don't think so.
Really?
Well, you know, we'll see. Maybe after hearing the show, Joe, they'll bring it back.
So before we go to impressions,
I brought you something.
This is your mom.
I think it's important to bring a note from your mom.
Look at this, please.
And she wrote you a little note here, Joe.
Marion Ross.
My mom, Marion Ross.
I love it.
What the hell is it?
I love
it. There it is. She says, "To dear Joe and happy days."
Oh.
She calls you a rascal. She says, "You rascal."
This is great. Marion Ross's book, My Days, Happy and Otherwise. Marion Ross. So you remember you were a child on the set. I mean.
Yeah. Well, I ran for 11 seasons, so I went from late childhood into teenagerdom.
On the set there, doing homework in school?
No, I didn't live on the set, but I would visit quite a lot. Anytime I could. And when I got old enough to drive. From the Valley to Paramount, I would go every Friday night. It was a great time,
This is good stuff.
Because I was at a time when, as you know, there were like 3 channels, and if you had a hit show, it was really a hit show, and 40 million people would watch it. So it was very exciting.
And also, you played General Petraeus in Call of Duty, the video games.
Did I? I have so many credits, I can't keep track of them all. I'll take your word for it. You're the one looking at the paper.
That's great. That's a great graduate. It's so funny when Frankie will give me some reference questions, and you'll see. This is Professor Alan Dershowitz, one of the brightest legal minds. There's 7 questions. This is Jim Meskimen. You'll see. There's 20 questions from Morano. It's great.
Guess which one of us is more famous?
I know. So wait, did you bring notes?
I brought a game. If you want, we could play a game. I brought famous movie lines.
You came prepared to the Piscopo show.
This is good.
Wait,
no
we don't know what to do.
Show.
What do you have to do?
I thought it would be fun. You pick a celebrity that you do, for example. Who's one you do? Like Sinatra?
You know what? But you know what I got to do because we're all political on the show. I love that no one's doing these esoteric impressions, and you said you don't follow politics that closely.
Well, I follow Tom Brokaw, so I do. He's not quite as esoteric as
the women just ran for cover.
Can you believe that?
The latest. I know.
What do you think?
All my best voices are getting knocked off
Tom,
one by one. Garrison Keillor as well. I used to do Garrison Keillor quite a bit. No, I don't. Nobody does Garrison Keillor anymore.
And Prokog, though. I mean,
Woody Allen as well. You know, it's very controversial. So
that's a
problem because it's such a fun impression to do, and he's got so many interesting things to say. And, luckily, nobody said anything about George W. Bush yet. Thank God. By the way, I was listening to your program. I used to know Netanyahu. I had his email address. And a funny thing, Benjamin Netanyahu, his email address, I'm sure he won't mind me saying, is benjamin@yahoo.net. It's a coincidence.
I love it. Brian Whitman's our morning guy in L.A. Do you know Brian at all?
No.
Oh, you would love him. He does again as a
sure.
And we went back and forth. He'll do like Jeff Sessions, for example. I know. And I want to do Rex Tillerson. Rex Tillerson always scared me with that deep Southern accent like that. But then
that's frightening to New Yorkers.
Yeah, But then you got to help me with this one. Let's work on this together. Benjamin Netanyahu, Bibi Netanyahu.
You got a deeper basement than I have.
But I love his voice like that.
I haven't. I confess, I've not heard it. I didn't hear it.
We'll have to work on BB together.
Okay.
But you do who back in the day, Jim Meskimen? It seemed like you could do Jerry Lewis was good. Jerry, lady, easy. Everybody knew Dino. Dino. When I did the old man, when I did Mr. Sinatra, that was an esoteric impression because no one had done him.
Yeah.
No one had done it. And I had to learn, and I was in the on my driveway in my Ford Fairmont, thank you, broke, about to go on Saturday Night Live.
Fairmont, right?
So and after my dog gets operated on, I'm going to be broke again, apparently, what Al tells me. So I started listening to the old man, and it was so close to my voice because it was that Jersey thing, Jersey, the way, that whole Jersey thing that you heard like that.
Yeah.
And so
Raymond Shaw is the warmest, most wonderful human being I ever met.
Yeah, man, Manchurian Candidate was great.
Mongolian Candidate, that was a different movie.
So who else you work?
Well, I was going to say, you tickled my memory a little bit. When I first came to New York in the early '80s, because I've done Morgan Freeman quite a lot for The Tonight Show and other things, and many people do Morgan Freeman.
That's a great impression.
Thank you. But at the time, the guy who was really occupied the position of Morgan Freeman in the '80s was Burgess Meredith. Used to do narrations for a variety of films and television programs, and so I used to do a lot of knockoff.
That is great, man. That is sensational, man. This is where your brilliance is. Usually they would go, you would do more of the Penguin. What did he do, the Penguin or something like that?
Batman, man. Yeah, but that was so late in the game, and and when he was older, and we used to do campaigns. I think he did a Honda. He did a Honda campaign, and he didn't sound like the Penguin. Obviously, that was a whole.
Do you roll into it? Do you work on it? Do you play with it?
I do play with it. Sometimes, I walk around the house and I talk in voices. Sometimes it just strikes me like, I can hit that, and I can just sort of automatically feel it.
Yeah.
Other ones I have to work on, but I find if I have to expend effort and study, that's usually a bit of a stop for me. Because I'm so used to just kind of doing things instantly.
I wanted it really esoteric, and I don't know why no one has really done it. Jimmy Gandolfini, rest his great soul.
Hi, Jimmy Gandolfini.
Tony, Christopher. Hey, I'm sick and tired of hearing about this. Christopher, get over here. Christopher. Yeah, it was all that. It was all that here. And for some reason, I was just sitting around. I just said, hey, I can hear Jimmy Gandolfini in my face. Christopher, get over here. So you could just kind of fall into it like that, right?
Yeah, totally. My good pal Ross Marquand, who's on the series that was on Impress Me, another young man, does a fantastic Gandolfini. And he was beautiful.
He always squinches up his face like this, and it seems to help the impression a lot. What are you doing?
But you know what I have to do? I have to call you out on Robin Williams.
Thank you.
Listen to this.
Yeah, it's sort of a guilty pleasure now, but yeah.
Is that wild? Go ahead, give me a little bit.
Well, I mean, I don't do his material, thank God, but so I'm not an expert that way. But I like the sort of the calm Robin, the sort of not the crazy.
That's
wild,
right. That's impossible to do. It's impossible to do.
Frank Caliendo does a fantastic.
Yeah.
Awesome. But I do the genie for Disney things. parades and toys and games and stuff like that.
You-
So I'm actually vetted. I'm actually approved by Robin to do Robin.
No, is that what you do? You do Robin for?
Yeah, occasionally for Disney
Wow,
stuff. Yeah,
wow.
I've been doing that for 10 years, I think.
This is too fun. Your daughter's working now?
Yeah, she's a book narrator, audio book narrator, and a voiceover person, and just my best pal.
This is yeah. I know. How old is she?
She's 27.
Yeah, it's the best. Or your buddy, all right?
Oh God, yeah, she helps me. She helps me with the YouTube videos we put up. We put up YouTube videos every day. We're doing one every day for a year, at least one.
With just some bit to it.
People can go to YouTube and find me, Jim Meskimen, and I do celebrity fortune cookie. I have a wheel with celebrity names on it, which I spin.
That's great.
Whatever the celebrity lands on, I pick a fortune cookie and I read it in that, whether it's Robert De Niro or Colin Firth or whoever it is, reads the fortune cookie and then talks a little bit about the silliness of it.
This is great. You were in Apollo 13 too.
Yeah. When I was.
I was just on the other day, I saw you in the control room.
No, did you really?
Yeah, he's
that's
in the control room.
great. That's great.
Yeah.
Nice
I
job.
was the systems engineer for the electrical environmental thing. The lunar excursion module.
There's a scene towards the end where Ed Harris is fixing his tie, and they're all talking about what happens if the impact. And Ed Harris says, "This, there's something about it. It'll be our finest moment or whatever." And then I think they cut to you.
I think it's going to be our finest hour.
That's right. That's right.
That's great. I love just little esoteric things. That kills me.
Yeah.
Jim, you're a talented guy, man. Thanks for coming in,
Yeah,
brother.
my pleasure.
Hey, and what are you shooting something here in New York,
Yeah,
man?
I'm shooting the marvelous Miss Maisel over there at Steiner, our studios. They shoot it, and it's Amy Palladino's great show. And my mom was on her show, The Gilmore Girls, so it's going to be nice to meet her. And it's a great show about the late 50s, early 60s stand-up comedy scene.
Yeah.
And I've been watching the show, and so when I got the audition and they were looking for
What are you playing, a comic?
I can't really say, but I can't really say. It's John Adams, something. I'm not playing John Adams, exactly. Playing Dolly Madison. Is that funny to you? Is that funny? You're laughing? Ha, ha, ha. It's funny.
Can we get him to do one of those
Oh, God.
cards?
I
Joe?
hate that. Yes, by all means. Go ahead. We got a couple seconds. Go ahead.
Let's see. So I'll do. I'll see if you can get. So what movie is this from? This is Ian McKellen.
If you let my daughter go now, that'll be the end of it. I will not look for you. I will not pursue you.
I know this.
But if you don't, I will look for you. I will find you.
What,
I
Taken?
will kill you.
Taken. That's
right.
great. That is great.
Gandalf Taken.
Well, that's spectacular, man. That is great. Jim Meskimen, guys,
Thanks,
let's
man.
round of applause, but thank you.
Find me on YouTube.
Find YouTube, Jim Meskimen, and thank you, brother. Thanks for gracing us with your incredible talent right there. 9:23.
Everybody knows this guy. Now, everybody knows he can do a radio show. Joe Piscopo. Mornings, 6 to 10 on AM 970. The Answer.